You're listening to the So Good It Doesn't Make Sense podcast, a podcast for women navigating divorce who want more. More clarity, more money, more peace, more power. I'm Megan Norris, divorce expert, coach, and the friend who's going to tell you the truth. Not just about what's happening right now, but about what's possible for you next. This podcast is about making decisions you trust, building a life you actually want, and becoming the version of you that no one saw coming. Whether you're in it, ending it, or already out, you're in the right place. You're about to become the CEO of your life and create one so good it doesn't make sense. Let's get started. Oh, hi, welcome back. Glad you're here. I am excited to chat with you today about ease not feeling easy. This is going to be very helpful no matter where you are in the divorce process, and the topic was inspired by a comment I had on one of my Instagram posts. I've also sent an email. I've been talking a lot about the paradoxes of divorce and how they kind of confuse us and keep us stuck because we're not sure what to make of them or how to handle them. One of the paradoxes of divorce is that ease doesn't feel easy. So what does that even mean? Because she was like, I don't get this. Fair enough. Fair enough. You're not in my brain. You might not know what that means. You might not get it. Let's unpack it just a little bit. Also, side note, can you tell there's a little bit better of a flow here with the podcast? If you can't tell, that's fine. But I can tell in my experience of recording them. And I want to tell you why, because I think it's going to be helpful and tie into this episode. When I first started it, I was a little muddled on what to talk about and where to start. I have such a huge body of work now. I've been doing this for I've worked with hundreds of clients. I have so many resources and I didn't know where to start. Do I pick up where I am? Do I go back to the beginning? Do I talk to women getting divorced? Do I talk to women post-divorce like I am? Do I try to talk to everybody? And because I felt a little confused, well, first, I didn't start the podcast for a long time because of it and just kept me frozen. But like we said last week, you got to take action. So I just decided to start and let the first couple episodes feel a little rough, and just decided it didn't matter, that I had to move through that. So I did. And part of that process was outlining and planning and being able to perfect or contain what I was going to talk about and plan it. That's what it is. Plan it ahead of time. Because in my brain, planning equals control of the outcome. It equals better. It equals closer to perfect, good enough, which is what my brain says, when it doesn't want to say you need to be perfect, because I would never believe that, because I'm, we all know we can't, quote, can't be perfect. So we just need to be perfect enough. If I have a plan or a script or an outline, then that will guarantee that. But in the last couple episodes, I have just showed up to the mic and I have an idea of what I want to talk about, but there's no outline. There's not really a plan. We're just going to see where it goes. And I feel like there's a better flow. It's a more impactful message. This has been one of the areas where I still have work to do, but I've come a long way in just being able to trust myself to show up and talk. And that I know my material, I also know what I'm trying to get across to you so well because I've lived it. So I have the neural pathways, I have the nervous system, the somatic imprint of it. I know what it feels like because I've done it or I am doing it, and I can trust that that's enough. And I think it's actually better. So I could trust that it's better, but that is so uncomfortable for me. It's like I want the safety net of the outline. Sometimes I have it anyway, but I'm experimenting with not having one at all. So if it feels a little different, faster, more natural, that's probably why. And if you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, never mind. It's definitely been my experience from this side of the microphone. And how does that tie into Ease doesn't feel easy. Well, it's the perfect example, actually, now that I think about it, because it is easier. It is easier for me to come to this microphone and talk for 20 minutes on a topic and see where it goes than it is for me to plan an outline, think it out ahead of time, maybe throw that initial thought into ChatGPT and tell it to organize it, quote unquote, better. Okay. Then have to come here, and I don't like to read them or study them. I don't have time. I'm not sure it's that I don't like to. It's like I don't have time to then take the outline that I've created and read it through a couple times to get an idea of the flow. So then I show up at the microphone and I'm trying to read, and record video for YouTube. Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? And then have to start over because I don't like the way that it's like forcing myself into a box that I don't need or want to be in. Some people work great with an outline. I'm not saying outlines are bad. It just, for me, they end up watering down and weakening my message, I think, more than just showing up and seeing what comes out. That is a perfect example of ease not feeling easy, because it is easier for me to show up here and just chat with you like we're in person and we're having the best deep conversation. No small talk here. It's easier. It literally takes less action, less effort. But I have to be anchored in, fully attuned and connected with my self-trust. I have to believe some things about me. I have to feel a little bit naked and insecure. And that is uncomfortable. That is initially when you first do it, it feels like you're asking your nervous system to free fall off the side of a cliff without a parachute. Like, hope we land somewhere soft. Don't know where this is going, but let's see what happens. Ease doesn't feel easy. If you have been through or are going through a divorce, you have been through a season of adversity and what's the constriction? That's the word I'm looking for. Constriction. It's you don't want to change, and the universe but you just were not meant to be there anymore. Your life was meant to change, and the constriction keeps building until it gets so tight it becomes unbearable. And that some people call that, the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of changing and the fear of changing. That's another way to put this. It's easier. It feels easier to stay in the familiar comfort of what you don't like, what's harder than it feels to do the simple, easy thing. This is true in your divorce and definitely true afterwards. I bet every single one of you, if you showed me your text messages and your emails with your ex or your co-parent, I could pick out most of the words and say unnecessary. Harder to type all those words than the 3 sentences you needed to say with a period and a send. Ease doesn't always feel easy. When you've come through a period of adversity, one, you're programmed for things to feel hard and to be hard. You recognize that. Yes, you recognize the challenge. You recognize the discomfort of not getting what you want, of feeling disappointed, of feeling grief-stricken. It's not pleasant to feel those things, but you've been feeling them. You know how to do that. So that becomes the familiar. It's way less familiar and new and uncomfortable to let something take the easy way through a communication, a decision, an action, to an outcome, to a goal, to a result you want to create. And your brain will overcomplicate it and you won't even know it. You'll have no awareness because this is just the way you live. It's the way you probably always lived. This leads me to my second point, okay? So the season of adversity kind of anchors us into this. Things are hard, right? And then we have, on top of, our experience of things being hard for a long time, we have society and our culture telling us, oh, this could be really awful for you. Awful for you. So buckle up. It's going to suck for a while. Get your survival plan ready. Most expensive decision you'll ever make. Definitely a setback. There's still time for you. I mean, it's so woven into our vernacular around divorce that we don't even see all the ways that we're being sent the subliminal message that this is hard. This is hard. Okay, so we have our experience of the adversity. Then we have everybody telling us, yes, it's hard. Okay, and this is the third thing that really kind of seals the deal of you being committed to things being hard. And that is your incredible natural way of being. Your authentic self is high achieving, in the pursuit of excellence, loves the drive, loves the accomplishment, loves the dopamine hit she gets when she does it, right? You like to be challenged. You like to see what you're made of. I'm talking outside of the area of divorce, right? If you think back to your days in school, if you think back to your professional life, and so I'm sure you have examples there. If you think to how you parent, yes, you think I can't possibly add one more thing to my plate, and then you do, and you're like, I can do it. I can do it. It's an extreme sport, and I was made for it. This is me, 100%. I'm so driven. I'm so ambitious, but not just in my business, but in all things. There is nothing casual about me. And I am laughing because I used to hate that about me. And I have received some, I would not say constructive feedback. I would say more criticism, more of a critical eye. About me being that way. And I just need to chill out. Just doing it wrong. Just like so intense all of it. Like, can you just do something halfway? Why do you have to be so much? And I've really had to deprogram. I'm still in the process of doing that. But I've done a lot of work around allowing my freak flag to fly in terms of how driven and ambitious I really am in all the ways. Like the pursuit of excellence turns me on. It turns me on. I want to know. I want to know your out of the box ideas. I want to see you win. I want to help you win. I want to win. I want to experience that. The process of that. Even if it includes massive failure. I've always been that way. And even in my parenting, all the ways. Now, what that kind of translated to slowly over the years is, well, you can't rest. You can't take it easy because you're not going to get what you want. Things are hard. You got to work hard. There's the moral value we place on quote hard work, right? You got to have a work ethic. Nobody here has a problem with their work ethic, by the way. I'm just saying. I already know that for a fact. I don't even need to know you to know that that's true. So that complicates this feeling easy or not feeling easy. because you love hard things. But I need you to brain hack this with me, like I've done. I need you to approach ease with the same intensity that you approach everything else. The same commitment, the same drive, the same extreme sport mentality. You've got to start applying that in ways that create balance in your life. And if you want to think of the work being, how uncomfortable can I make myself by not doing all of this today because I have a cold and I'm run down, and just like saying yes to the person who wants to bring me soup, or having your kids do the dishes for you, or whatever it is. Can you just let it be easy today? And can you brain hack your way there, nervous system hack your way there, by thinking about that mentality as requiring intense commitment and extreme, or a pursuit of excellence that you love? Because if your pursuit of excellence and your drive becomes over functioning, meaning you're self-abandoning to caretake other people and try to control things that you can't control because you don't want to have to feel an uncomfortable emotion by taking up space with what you need or want, or letting someone else feel disappointed, or allowing yourself to feel guilt, whatever it is, it gets complex up in there in your brain when you start to do this work, then it's not supportive. That's not for your highest good. It's not the appropriate use of that superpower of yours. And it is the survival expression of a part of you that is amazing and deserves balance and alignment and care and compassion, not criticism and blame and impossibly high expectations and standards. You get to have high standards, and you get to be committed to your integrity and your value system. We just need to incorporate some ease, and that process, because of those three things we just walked through, the adversity you have experienced, our culture and society, and how you came to this world already programmed, ease doesn't always feel easy. And that's the paradox. Everybody thinks, "Oh, okay, you're telling me that it's hard to lay down and take a nap? Get out of here. What a privileged problem to have." Okay, fair enough. I want to recognize my privilege here. It's true. I'm not fighting to feed my children and put food in their mouths. I'm not fighting for our shelter, and I'm not fighting for our baseline level of safety, and emotionally or physically. Okay, this message is not for you if that's you. It's not that you don't need this conversation. You do, but you probably need to get those basic needs met first before you can even entertain this. This is just going to go right over your head if that's you. So I recognize that we're starting from a certain baseline here, but to laugh at it, to say it's not real, to say that it is entitled or indulgent or spoiled, if those are your thoughts, they don't belong to you. And if someone else is projecting that onto you, that doesn't have anything to do with you. As the great Taylor Allison Swift has said, something can be about you and still be none of your business. So to belittle the struggle of a over-functioning single mother who has been stressed to the max for years, to belittle the struggles she feels internally to just lay down and take a nap in the afternoon, is just uninformed nonsense. If you've never lived it, then you don't know, and that's fine. But if you have, and you come into my world And I say, what if you just let someone help you? Or what if you just didn't go to the play your son is in and you are flooded because you can't possibly imagine saying no to that as his, the parent, the primary caregiver. You're just not going to, like, who's going to be there for him? That is your work. We have to figure out how to invite in ease, whatever that looks like for you. Because until you do that, the life that's so good it doesn't make sense will elude you, but not circumstantially. You will achieve it, or at least you'll get close, but it won't feel like it. Ask me how I know. You can make all the money. You can live in your dream house. You can have thriving kids. You can be healthy, strong. Maybe you're in a relationship, and you will not feel like you can stop. It won't feel like enough. You'll be running, chasing enoughness, whether it's enough money, enough acceptance, enough checked off your to-do list. You will continue to live in the it'll get better when space. And that, my friend, is an old paradigm from your marriage, and we are done with that. And if you're really done with that, then you have to do the work of letting it be easy. And you're probably going to need some type of support. I don't care what it is. I mean, I hope it's me. But if it's not, read a book, go to therapy, have a friend, somebody who has a lot of self-awareness and can gently suggest, hey, you're making this harder than it has to be. And please don't hear me saying that we're in the pursuit of perfection. This is an ever-changing, ongoing experience in my life. Because it's just not as simple as it sounds, right? It is simple. It doesn't feel as simple, right? Like, I have people around me who I think would seem like the people I can call if I need help, right? Or to make things easy. My family lives 2.5 hours away. I have a co-parent. He's only an hour and a half away. I have some uh, like distant like relatives in this town. I'm not super close to them, but they're here. And yet to sometimes actually ask for help or receive the help ends up being so complicated for other reasons that it actually ends up not being helpful. So on the one hand, I can or can I? Do you see how complicated your brain can make it right away? It just can, because it doesn't want it to be easy. And it means something different for everybody, and everybody's ease is going to come in different ways depending on your circumstances, but it is available to all of you. And I would encourage you to start looking at that and letting it be easy. Maybe it's letting your lawyer communicate with your ex on your behalf so that you are not doing that emotional labor. So uncomfortable. Maybe it's not checking your email or your text messages after 6 p.m. because your nervous system gets activated and then you can't sleep. Letting it be easy. It's a mix of boundaries and containment and surrender. And it's worth doing that work. If you want to do it with me and you're post-divorce, the Unbound Life Immersion is open for enrollment, and I hope that you will reach out if you have questions about joining that. We start on September 17th. There will be a spring semester, by the way. I don't think I mentioned this last week. We're going to do a spring semester, maybe a summer school type thing, but for sure a spring semester. But what I'm so excited about, I just had this idea, is that we're going to do reunions so that the bonds that are created, we can have check-ins, maybe only once a year. All the immersion students come together and we break out into rooms for the semester that you were in. You catch up and then we come back. Oh, I'm so delighted by the community aspect of this. because we heal in relationships. We just do. The relational witnessing that happens between women is transformative. So if you're post-divorce, that's available. If you're still in the divorce process, the Divorce Academy membership is unbelievable. It's also an incredible community. There's a Telegram group chat. Women are always chatting in there, referring each other back to the different resources and supporting one another. And then we have weekly calls in there. It's really a beautiful space if you are in the legal divorce process. You know where to find me if you have any questions, and I will see you back here next week. Bye. Thanks for listening to the So Good It Doesn't Make Sense podcast. If today's episode resonated, please take a minute and leave a review. It helps women find this work and change their lives and divorces too. For more support, be sure you follow me on Instagram at Megan Norris Coaching. That's where I share real-time strategy, perspective, and what it actually looks like day to day. And when you're ready to go deeper, join the Divorce Academy, my monthly membership for women navigating divorce with clarity, power, and community. I'll see you next week. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for legal, financial, or mental health advice. Please consult with licensed professionals as needed.